Let's say you're working on a sanitary sewer project and you are 12 to 15 foot deep. You need to be, let's say, 24 inches wide at the bottom of that because your inspector's not going to let you get away with anything less. Well, if you're using a hydraulic breaker, you know what you're going to do. You're going to sit here and hammer down, hammer down, hammer down. And the closer you get to the bottom, the wider your trench is at the top. And what do we backfill those trenches with? Money. Whether you're putting store-bought stone back in it or you're putting the dirt or the rock that you cut out of it back in it, you still have to place it. You've got to compact it. You've got to inspect it. Sometimes you have to jet it. If you are using an EK series chain cutter to do the same job, you're going to go all the way to 12 feet deep, and depending on the model you're using, you're going to have, let's say, a 36-inch wide trench from top to bottom, which means when you go to backfill that trench, you're putting in less dollars. That's the way I look at it. That is one of the problems with hoe rams. Another problem with hoe rams is working in wet conditions. You know, how many sanitary sewer jobs have you done that, you know, your pipe layer's knee deep in water all day long? I mean, I've seen it my entire life. You can't go down in the bottom of that trench with a hammer. You just can't. You'll smoke it. Which means where's it going to end up? On your shop floor with all the pins pulled out of it, and you're waiting to write a $30,000 or $40,000 check to put it back together. That's a big problem for me. Other problem, the big problem that I think most people have with the hammers, they're just so doggone slow. It takes forever. Well, people ask me a lot, well, how much productivity can I get with an EK chain cutter? Well, the answer is it depends on your rock, but what I can tell you that is consistent across all my clients and all my jobs is that you're going to get it done 3 to 5 times faster with a KEMROC chain or drum cutter than you ever would with a hydraulic breaker. So on that very first job that I did with my EK 150 chain cutter, I realized pretty quickly that, I need more of these. I mean, one's just not going to cut it. So I called up KEMROC and asked them, you know, who's your dealer in this region? Who can I deal with? Well, we don't have one yet. So that started a whole nother conversation that I was never expecting to have. But as a result of it, I ended up buying a small fleet of different size cutters and whatnot, and I became the first dealer here in Kentucky. We predominantly used the first batch on T&C jobs because we needed them all. But in doing so, we gained an inordinate amount of experience, both with chain cutters and drum cutters. The bullhead cutters, like you see behind me, didn't really come into the equation until a little later because they're a newer design. But I knew as soon as I bought those and put them out in the field, all of my operators, pipe foremen, even my operations manager were like, hey, where can we get more of those? And I was like, well, let's see what these do first. But it answered that question almost immediately. We started out with the first 5 in our fleet. Now I have about 16 of them that are strictly in the fleet at T&C Contracting today, and we use them every day. So like I said, that very first job that I used the EK on was, you know, a really great learning experience, and it started a whole cascade of other events, you know, buying more cutters, using them on more jobs. So I started really getting involved in, all right, let's go see what this thing can do on this job. Let's see what it can do on that job. I had a client call me that I have built several subdivisions for, apartment complexes, things of that nature. They had a job not too far outside of Louisville where they had a problem with rock in a 1,900 foot long water main. They said, Scott, can you solve this for us? Because the contractor they had working on that job was not able to handle the rock. His hammers were not big enough. He just couldn't get anywhere. So they brought me in, and I told them that I thought it would take probably a month to get this rock out of the way. We were done in 6 days. That was 1,950 odd feet of solid limestone in 10 to 15,000 PSI range, average of 4.5 foot deep. So that shocked my client. They were just could not believe how quickly we had gotten that done. And that led to more work. So now I have my general contractors that are calling me every time we go and do a site for a warehouse. Hey, can you come here and get the rock out of my footing foundations for me? Because I can do it so much faster and so much cheaper than they can. So if you got a problem like that, give me a call. I'd be glad to sit down and help you figure out how to do it better, faster, cheaper than you're doing it right now with your hammer. So when people ask me what are the best attachments for getting the rock out of your way, you know, it used to be hammers because that's the only thing we had. But today, without a doubt, the only way to go are these KEMROC cutters. They are so fast, so efficient, so cost effective that you can't afford not to have them in your fleet. So if you want to cut the time and the cost on your project, I'd love to help. Give me a call.